All right, welcome to the last video of the Completing the Square series. Now, before I begin, I just want to say that if you found these videos helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. All right, let's try to build this channel up. Now, I only have kid, so let's get serious and let's do this last problem here. So again, I'm leaving the you tries alone. Those are obviously for you to do, but you can check your answers with your teacher is going to have an answer key on their webpage. All right, so last video, here we go. Let's get out a sheet of paper. All right, we've got a quadratic equation, 2x squared plus 12x minus 10 equals 0. All right, 2x squared. All right, looks good. All right. So since this is like the 4th or 5th time going through the process, I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit just so this video doesn't get too long. So we're going to divide because we want that coefficient there to be 1. All right, so 2 divided by 2 is 1x squared. 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6x. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And 0 divided by 2 is 0. All right, now we're going to move the constant over. Okay, so just add 5 to both sides. Okay, so x squared plus 6x is equal to 5. Okay, and now we're going to complete the square. And I like to use the area model so that I can visually see myself completing the square. All right, there's other ways of doing it without drawing the area model. But I don't know, I personally just kind of like this. All right, so we've drawn 2 equally sized squares. The first one will divide into 4 boxes. X squared is reserved for the first box. 6x is going to get split equally over here, so 3x and 3x. Okay, now the equivalent region over here is going to be represented by 5, right? Because these expressions are equal, so the areas that they take up have to be equal. So we can start to fill out the dimensions here, even though we don't know the 4th box. All right, these dimensions are x and x, 3 here and 3 here. And so the last box, the product of 3 and 3 is 9. So 9 is the value that's going to complete both squares, right? We're completing the square on the left and the square on the right. It's important to remember that. So the first square is the product of its factors, x plus 3 times x plus 3. And the second square is the sum of its areas, 5 and 9 is 14. Okay. Repeated multiplication. So we'll write that using an exponent. And then we will start operation by operation, reversing things until we get x all by itself. So we're taking a square root here. So we won't have an exponent anymore, just x plus 3. Okay, now 14, let's see. Does it have any factors that are perfect squares? It could be 2 times 7, 14 times 1. None of those are perfect squares. So we're just going to leave it as radical 14. There's no other way to simplify it. Okay. All right, our square roots come in pairs, positives and negatives. So now we'll write this as 2 separate equations. X plus 3 is equal to the positive root of 14. And x plus 3 is equal to the negative root of 14. And then we'll solve by subtracting 3 from both sides, just like that. So we have our variable x. Okay, we have an integer and a radical, can't combine. So write them as separate terms. Negative 3 plus the root of 14. Here we'll have x. X equals negative 3 minus the square root of 14. All right. We'll wrap our answer in a ribbon and call it a day. Well, actually, let's just write it as decimals and then we'll call it a day. So let's see, -3 plus the root of 14. So that's like 742. Or, and then -3 minus the root of 14 is, what's that, -6,742. -6.742. All right, so let's wrap that in a ribbon as well. And now we can call it a day. So good luck on the U-Try problems. You check your work using your teacher's webpage, and then good luck on your Clever assignment. Okay? Hope you guys have a good week.